Hey, Lauren. Okay, I was looking at your work here, and this is a good post. I think you're onto something here. I would like to have seen a little bit more written description as to your reaction to these pieces, especially this piece, which is pretty bad. I agree with you. Good points therein. So, what you have written is really valuable, and that's why I'm really I often recommend students really cultivate their ability to express their feelings through written word. And the reason I say that is because it's important that you're able to do that. And believe it or not, in your design career, you are asked to do a lot of writing. Writing is communication, design is communication. The two go in hand, so it shouldn't be any great surprise. A lot of times you'll be asked to describe your intent to your creative director, your art director, and many times um, to your client. And a lot of times that is required to be written, right? So it's a really, really important premise to cultivate your ability to communicate what you see in a way that is clear and concise. Um, the more I learn through my classes, the more I look at design as a form of opinion of whether they are good or bad. And also, as you do move through your student career, you'll find that the way you cultivate your ability to analyze artwork should be increasing and become more effective literally on a daily basis as you become more familiar with the elements and principles of design and the basic components of successful communication. Your skills will exponentially increase and it will continue to do so throughout your career. So the ability, so I guess what I'm trying to illustrate here is that there is a definite correlation, a tie between your ability to analyze design work and your ability to create and develop your own effective design work, right? Makes sense, right? So let's talk about the work. I think that this is really a good point. Is that can we introduce a second meaning, and that's really important. This kind of double entendre type thing, which we also address right here in a way, but it's really a way that you can. It's really a home run. It is, as we can clearly see here, because the reason is that because it adds another level of meaning. Okay, so if we just had this, okay, presumably this is a computer screen, right? And this is the artwork coming out of the computer. So if this were a standalone computer illustration with no gears in the background, would it be effective? I think it would still be effective because it would kind of show that this kind of beautiful artwork came out of this screen. So indicating that, yes, we can create beautiful artwork digitally. But this takes it a step further. This is the double entendre I was talking about, is that, yes, we have enforced or kind of reinforced the fact that this is a machine and this artwork was created by a machine. And that, yes, a machine is capable I'm sorry, a machine as a tool is capable of producing beautiful artwork. Of course, it all depends on the hand. It all rests on the hand of the artist. We know that, right? So in a way, to me, this is saying that a computer is just another tool that a successful artist can use to create a beautiful piece, right? So this piece again, and I talk about double entendre and its value in a illustration, and double entendre is also really, really valuable in branding. As a matter of fact, if you can create double entendre in branding, it's usually, if it's done successfully, it's a home run. Let me give you a description, or let me give you an example. A double entendre would be, I'll just use the obvious example, would be the FedEx logo and the arrow indicating forward movement, right? So that would be a double entendre. Baskin Robbins 31 flavors, where the logo actually has the three and the one. That's a beautiful double entendre. A couple of other areas, the Toblerone with the bear in the mountains. A few other examples, I think, indicate that the value of that. But the what how it works is this: is the viewer looks at something and they see it. Look, so we look at this, right, and we see alive, and we see this kind of what's it called, EKG. We see this kind of heartbeat. Visual depiction of a heartbeat by the EKG. So we see that first of all. Then come down. We see alive. Then we go back and we say, wait, that's an A. Then we go, wow, that's clever. At that point, your job as a designer is done. You've created an interest. You've created a spark. You've kind of created this mental the series of mental activities that the viewer goes through, and it's really, really effective. So this is a great logo. I don't even know what to say about this piece. It's just, I think you said it all, especially this. Would you want to go to a school that can't even design their own website? I totally get what you're saying. I think this is really, really bad. I would say for sure this was not designed by a designer. Um, I mean, these gradients are horrible. The type is huge. It's not compelling. It's bad design. The concept itself isn't so bad. In the background, we have this kind of what would this called, like an ultraviolet, um, or I don't know what this photography is called. I think it's ultraviolet. But anyway, so you have this UV photography showing what a hand looks like before washing, and then what it looks like after washing. So we can clearly see this nice progression. So I think conceptually that's strong, but execution wise, it's pretty bad. Um, okay, so my question for you is this. We talked about double entendre. My question for the week for you is, give me a good example of a logo that uses double entendre. Two-part question. Give me a good example of a logo that uses double entendre successfully, and then describe why the designer decided to make this eye in Alive blue. Okay? I'm really looking forward to your responses here. So, um, yeah, okay. So good post, good job, good job. Thanks, Mark. Any questions? Let me know, and I'm looking forward to your response. Thank you very much for sharing.